It's the kind of Hollywood ending no one could have written and no one wanted to see. A legend, a beauty, a fighter. Gone. Just days before a milestone she'd spent a lifetime earning. You know the face, and you know the smile, and you know that voice. For millions, Loni Anderson wasn't just a sitcom star. She was the dream girl who could match her wit to her looks and win. But behind the glitter, behind that dazzling smile, was a story of triumphs and heartbreaks. And in her final days, something happened that still has fans asking, why now? Why so soon? It began in the late 70s. America fell in love with her as Jennifer Marlowe, the blonde bombshell receptionist who turned every outdated stereotype on its head. Men tuned in for the glamour. Women tuned in for the sharp, confident woman who knew her worth. For Loni, fame was instant. But so were the whispers. Could someone so beautiful really be taken seriously? She didn't just prove them wrong, she redefined the game. And then, there was the marriage. Hollywood royalty meets Hollywood royalty. Loni Anderson and Burt Reynolds, America's golden couple. At least, that's how it looked on the magazine covers. What the public didn't see? The bitter fights, the shocking accusations, and the divorce that became one of the ugliest Hollywood had ever seen. In her memoir, Loni claimed physical abuse, betrayal, a man who could charm the world but couldn't love her right. Burt accused her of maxing out a $45,000 American Express in half an hour. Was it love gone wrong, or a fairy tale that was never real? She survived the headlines. She rebuilt her life. She became a mother, a grandmother, and an outspoken advocate for lung health after losing both parents to COPD. And then, August 3rd, 2025, 2 days before her 80th birthday, the news broke. Loni Anderson had died after what her family called an acute, prolonged illness. Fans were stunned. Social media lit up with tributes. Morgan Fairchild wrote, "The sweetest, most gracious lady, I'm just devastated to hear this." But that's not the whole story, because in the days leading up to her passing, something else was happening. Something that now has people wondering if we missed the signs all along. Before we reveal what those signs might have been, make sure you hit subscribe, tap the like button, and share this video so more people can celebrate the life and uncover the truth about Hollywood's golden girl. And tell us in the comments, what's your first memory of Loni Anderson? The truth is, Loni Anderson never wanted the public to see her vulnerable. She was a master of appearances. Even in her final months, she wore the smile, she wore the charm. But friends say something had changed. Her once flawless walk to the car was slower. Her radiant energy, dimmer. And for someone who had always been in control of her public image, Loni was suddenly disappearing from the spotlight altogether. There were whispers. Was it exhaustion? Was it illness? Or was it something she just didn't want to talk about? Because this wasn't the first time Loni had kept her pain hidden. Decades earlier, during her turbulent split from Burt Reynolds, she'd endured humiliating headlines and cruel jokes on late-night TV. But she never stopped showing up, never admitted defeat. Can you imagine carrying that for decades? In one of her last major interviews, she joked, she laughed. The audience laughed. But behind the lightheartedness, some say there was a woman holding on to her identity with everything she had left. And then, the charity events stopped. No more surprise visits to lung health fundraisers. No more photo ops at retro TV reunions. Her friends quietly stopped asking when she'd be out next. It's now believed she was already in the fight of her life. And the fight was taking everything from her. When the news broke of her death, tributes came pouring in. Not just from Hollywood, but from fans who had grown up watching her redefine what a sitcom beauty could be. The contrast was stark, from Golden Girl to silver-haired Hollywood elder. But for those who loved her, that beauty never faded. Yet, there's one detail about her final days that no one can stop talking about. Something her family hinted at, but never fully explained. Was it simply illness? Or was there more behind her sudden decline? And just when fans thought they knew the answer, another revelation came forward. A revelation that would change how people remember her last chapter forever. Before we go deeper into that shocking twist, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and share it so others can join the conversation. And tell me in the comments, do you think Loni knew the end was near? In the days after her passing, the family's statement seemed simple. She died after what they called an acute prolonged illness. But for longtime friends, that phrase raised more questions than it answered. Why didn't she speak about it? Why did she vanish so completely from public life? And why did she keep her inner circle so impossibly small in those final months? One close friend, who asked not to be named, told reporters she knew Loni had been sick for months. But she didn't want pity. She didn't want the headlines to be about her struggle. She wanted them to be about the life she lived, not the illness that took her. That choice says everything about the woman Loni was. Always poised, always protective of the image she built, even if it meant carrying the weight of her battle alone. And yet, fans found a way to honor her truth. Across X, Facebook, and Instagram, people posted memories, favorite lines from WKRP, and even photos of VHS tapes they'd kept for decades. Her last appearance on screen, just 2 years ago, was a reunion of sorts, a Christmas special filled with icons from her era. At the time, it felt nostalgic. Now, it feels like a farewell. Here's the twist most people don't know. That role was offered to her more than once. She almost said no. Her health was already slipping, but her friends convinced her it might be her last chance to be on set with her peers. And they were right. Loni Anderson didn't just live in the golden age of television. She was part of why it shined so bright. She was a reminder that beauty and intelligence could stand shoulder to shoulder, and that sometimes the most graceful exit is the one no one sees coming. Her story is one of love, loss, glamour, resilience, and, in the end, dignity. But it leaves us wondering, how many other Hollywood stars are quietly writing their own last chapters out of the spotlight? If you loved Loni Anderson, if you remember laughing with her on your TV every week, honor her memory by keeping her performances alive. Share her stories, revisit her work, and never forget the woman who refused to let life, or even death, define her on anyone else's terms. Before you go, hit that like button, subscribe for more untold Hollywood stories, and share this video so others can remember Loni's legacy. And tell me in the comments, if you had one chance to say something to her, what would it be? Loni Anderson, forever our golden girl.